YouTube, what is going on? So we're going to talk about Amazon I think this is either part 2 or 3. That I did a video on being the Amazon delivery driver. I'm going to just go with 2. I'm not sure which number I'm on because I did do a video on it. But this is a continuation because there is so much more that I want to really just rant about because of how horrible the situations were working with Amazon. Working with a third-party vendor that works for Amazon. So I didn't talk about the process in the beginning. Like I spoke about the training. Like you gotta go through all this training in order to become a Amazon delivery driver. But part of that training also is inspecting your van before you hit the road. So when you come in the morning and you park your car and you get your keys to your van, you have to inspect your van. That means you have to look at the tires. You have to look at all of these little small parts around the van. And you have to go into your Rabbit, which is the phone, and you have to input how the van is looking. Mind you, they just tell you to bypass all of these issues that you know is an issue. In their mind, they're like, if the vehicle can drive, you're good. So you can't be marking down a van because the window is not coming down. They don't care about that. It could be a hot summer day and your window cannot go down. They don't care about that. They're not going to flag that van because of that. They're looking for it to be flagged because of a major issue. So basically, you have to get through all of that every time you get your van. You have to inspect the van fully before you can go get your packages. Then, when it's time, because they call certain van numbers to go first, you go around to the actual warehouse. Then when you get to the warehouse and you park your van, they give you like, what is it? I think it was like 10 or 15 minutes to pack up your van with all your packages and overflows. When I tell you this 15 minutes blows by, it's so ridiculously pressurized. Like, especially when you're new and you have tons of packages. And when I say tons of packages, I mean, you have these bags called totes. The totes are the things that holds in the smaller packages. You put those in and you have to organize it in a certain way in your van. Once the totes go in, now you have something called overflow. Overflow are the bigger packages that can't fit in the totes. And when I say you have to be good at Tetris, I severely mean this. You need to be very good at Tetris because the way these overflows can fit inside this van is just, you have to really have a creative mind to figure out how to put these overflows inside this van without you tripping over something and killing yourself accidentally. Like you may have a small fridge you have to carry and you have to put that somewhere strategically in the van. So whenever you're ready to actually get to this fridge, you can actually reach it, right? So strategically, you have to put all of these overflows in a certain manner. Because if you just throw everything in, sometimes it won't even fit. Then you got to pull everything out and figure it out again. And you got to do all of this within 10 to 15 minutes. And the crazy thing about the whole get your packages ready is what they tell you is someone will help you, which they do. Some people will watch you struggle. Like they'll be at the side. Look at this. They'll be at the side just talking about you while you struggle. But the rule is someone is supposed to help you. If they finish doing their packing of their van, they're supposed to look around for someone else to help. That's supposedly supposed to be the rule. I don't see everyone doing that while I was working there at the time. Not everyone does that. And it was just like so much pressure at that time because You wanted to get all your packages inside your van before that 10-15 minutes. Because if you're not on time, basically everyone is just sitting in their vans waiting for you to finish. And it's just so much pressure in your mind because you're like, dang, I'm the last one to get my bags, my bags, my totes, my overflow in the van. You see everybody just waiting for you. It's so much pressure. It's so much pressure. And it just got too much. It just got too heavy for me mentally to be doing this. And then on top of that, another thing I could say about Amazon, working as a delivery driver, another pressurized situation I felt was the Amazon vans, at least the ones with the writing on it this time. Those vans had cameras in it. So they have a camera system that tracks your GPS, tracks you, and tracks your speed limit. It also tracks what laws you're breaking. So if you see a stop sign, you have to stop directly in front of this stop sign. You can't go around doing any rolling stops. You know how when you drive your own car, you do a rolling stop? You kind of go past the stop sign a little bit, then go? You can't do that with an Amazon van. You'll get dock points off that. And when they dock you points, it comes off of your Amazon reputation. And they speak to you about that. Then you can get penalized in some form of way. This was a tough job. Like, you really had to stop directly in front of a stop sign. And when I say stop, I'm talking about full stop. Like the kind of stop you stop at when you see a police down the block watching you. That kind of stop. That full stop, look both ways, and then go. And it was just so much pressure. Like I literally found myself watching my speed the entire time while driving. Because the minute you start going over that speed and staying there, it starts to beep. And another thing they did was, if the camera that's inside the van, if it tracks that you're closing your eyes in any kind of way or looking away from the road, it's going to beep again. And you're going to get docked for all of these infractions, all of these things that happen while you're driving this van. They track it. I felt these cameras are good in a certain way, but then in other ways, it's like so intrusive. Like you could be eating your lunch inside the van and you just feel this camera just watching you. And you're just like, I wonder if these people are just watching me eat my snack. Like you just wonder if they're just watching you every single minute. And to be honest, I felt like that. I felt like they were watching me the whole time while I was driving these vans. One of them even mentioned, "Oh, we only watch you when you do something wrong." Yeah, all right. You tell that lie to yourself, you believe it you'll soon believe it. And I remember during our training process, they actually showed us videos of past drivers who no longer work for the company, who've made terrible mistakes while driving. Like they showed one video of a guy, I guess he was having a horrible day. And he just was not, I guess he was behind in all of his packages, which can frustrate anyone. He was behind, and when he got back to the van, he punched the camera. I'm serious. He punched the camera. And the trainers that was watching him, they were laughing. They thought it was hilarious. But he ended up getting fired. And they had multiple videos of people doing something they shouldn't be doing on these cameras. So my thing is, what do you mean when you say you're not watching us all the time? How did you get certain of these videos? You know what I mean? Like certain videos, they didn't always have to do something in front of the camera. Sometimes it was just, you were just watching them. And it just came down to a point where it was just so uncomfortable. Like you really felt like you couldn't do anything because that camera was there. And they had different vans for Amazon. Like I mentioned in the other video, they had the pedophile van, which I hated. The only benefit of the pedophile van that I drove, it did not have any cameras. How convenient. How convenient of Amazon to supply us with a van that does not have any cameras, but also looks like a pedophile van. And the crazy thing is, as you began to progress with Amazon, you start delivering your packages, you start doing it in certain areas. When you first begin, it's like, okay, I'm getting used to this. It's not that bad. But then you start running into all of these problems and issues, like the GPS on the phone, or rabbit, they call it. This rabbit will tell you, you have reached your location. And you're looking around like, where is my location? You don't see it at all. Because the number on the rabbit will probably say the address is 111 Mountaintop Drive or something like that. Now you're looking out your windows. Where is 111? I don't even see 111. I see 140. What are you talking about? Like, you're going to have a lot of conversations with this phone based on how frustrating it is to think you reached your destination and you really have not. It's going to send you in areas where you're just questioning everything in life. You're going to question every moral code you have in your body, because you're going to be like, what is this? Where am I right now? This ain't working for me. And honestly, the thing that I figured out with Amazon is they will get over on you in this way as well. Here's how they'll get over on you. But before I even mention that, let's continue with the GPS. First of all, they give us these outdated phones. First of all, the phones that they give us are very old phones. It's not like the newest technology phones they give us. And I start to really question, like, how much updating are these phones doing? Because it seems very slow. It seems sluggish. It just seems like we just need brand new phones. But of course, they if we don't have good proper vans to drive, what makes me think they're going to give us a great phone to actually operate and do the job they're asking us to do? I mean, that would make too much sense, right? When things make too much sense, it's wrong in this world we live in. I'm going to say it again. When things make too much sense in this world, it is wrong. Because things are not supposed to make sense. You're supposed to question everything. You're not supposed to truly understand what you are doing. And that's the truth. That's the bare, honest truth that I've realized working for some of these companies. You're not supposed to know what you're doing. Because you know why I say this and I draw this conclusion? Because they'll come out of nowhere and switch up a rule that you've been following for a very long time and has almost become gospel to you. So they'll switch the rule up at a moment's notice and then say, this is what you're supposed to be doing. And as an employee, you're like, what? Why am I doing this? I've been following this for many years. If you've been working there for that long, I've been following this for many years. Why are we doing this? And no one will sit there to really discuss what that means. They'll just say, this is what we're supposed to be doing now. And then they'll walk off. How frustrating would you be? I'm sure you'll be frustrated. Especially if you've been following a certain way and now they just tell you, we don't do that anymore. This is what we do now. This is what we do now. We don't follow. That's old. That's old ways. Even though the old way was working perfectly fine. No problems. Now they switch it to something else and now you run into a bunch of issues. That's life. So let's talk about these overflow issues. So like I said, the overflow issues. The overflow is the packages that cannot fit in the totes. The totes are made for the smaller packages. So when you get your overflow, this will be the most intimidating sight you will see when you're packing your van. When I say the totes are easy compared to the overflow, I mean it. The overflow are just the square containers full of the packages. Those you could stack on each other and put them on your side. The overflow, this is when it starts to get really tricky, because you just can't throw the overflow in there. You got to align it a certain way. And that's why I said you have to be good at Tetris mentally, because you got to figure out all of these weird shaped boxes, huge boxes. How are you going to put them in there so you can be able to walk around, or at least put them in a way where you can reach things? When I first began at Amazon, I didn't know how to organize this stuff. It was horrible. Like I basically just threw my stuff in there. Through my the totes I was okay at. The overflow. There was so much overflow. I did not know how to organize it properly. So I would just throw them in there just so I can get onto the road. Just so I can get onto the road and begin. But what I found out is when you start, the rabbit starts the GPS, that's going to tell you what package to get. So if you're not organized with all your stuff, you're going to have a hard time trying to figure out what package they're talking about. I literally was going through packages like, where is this package? What is going on? Where? Frustrating. And the more you do that, the more you get behind, which leads to more issues down the line, because now your dispatch will be calling you and they'll tell you, you need to pick it up. You are way behind. You need to pick it up. Like I had some dispatchers that were not encouraging. They were not encouraging. Some of them some of them would come like for rescues, like in the beginning. Like if they see you're struggling, they'll come out to help you. That was nice. But then you have some others that's just like, you got to get going, man. You like 15 packages ahead. 15 packages behind. You got to get going. And it was just like, you would just sit there like, okay, I'm trying to figure this out. And then while you're trying to figure out where a package is, it just seems like when you finally find that package, another issue comes up. Now, on top of that, they're sending you to apartment complexes. And apartment complexes are like the worst location for you to be sent. Because like I said before in a past video, you don't know if you're going to be able to get into that apartment. You don't know if the customer left you a number to put into the talk box so you can buzz yourself in. You don't know. So now you're moving around with 3-4 packages in your hand, trying to find the apartment, possibly. And then once you, or if you even get into the apartment, now you're lugging 3-4 packages under your arm, trying to find the stairs, trying to figure out where to go, while trying to balance your phone, trying to look at what number it is again. Oh, what apartment is it? It's so much multitasking. They don't tell you that. It's a lot of multitasking. And you're doing all of this under severe weather conditions. Have you seen videos of Amazon workers working in over 90-degree temperatures with no AC in their van? This is true stories. True stories. That's how bad some of the conditions of the vans that they give us to drive are. They don't maintain these vans well. They give you something and they just expect it to get done. But how are you expecting something to get done if your workers are about to drop, about to faint, about to pass out? But this is what I'm saying. The nature of this job is for robots. You really think about it? It's for robots. Matter of fact, scratch that. They give robots a break. They shut robots off. They restart them. They do that. Humans, for some reason, they think we're worse than robots. They think we can just keep going and going, and whatever happens to you, I'm just gonna call the next person in. That's how they treat us. And like I said, with Amazon, you can stop working for a little bit of time, and you're going to pay the price for stopping and doing something else that you needed to do for yourself, like drink water. Even though you should have your water beside you, there may be days where you don't have water. So now you need to go to the gas station and buy some water. That's going to waste time. Or finding a bathroom to go pee. That's going to waste time. And they don't tell you the countless stories of people saving their water bottles, saving whatever bottle they have, just so they can piss in it, so they can save time to deliver these packages. They won't tell you that in training. They won't tell you that in training. They'll let you figure that out for yourself. The amount of filth that these vans are in. Some people are very dirty. They leave the vans in horrible conditions in the interior. Not just the outside, not just the whole physical appearance of the van. The interior. People don't get a chance, or they don't carry things to clean their hands. So they're touching the steering wheel. They're doing all type of... It's nasty. Like, I carried wipes with me. Like, I had to sanitize everything before I started driving. I sanitized the steering wheel, the knobs. People don't think about cleaning some of these things, you know? I even cleaned like the door handles. I have my sanitized wipes. I wasn't playing. I was not joking. I cleaned all them areas because people are disgusting. They do all of that, and then when you don't realize, what you don't realize is they touch your package. They touch all your packages and they deliver it to you. So now all of their germs, all of their fecal matter on their hands may just be on your package, and you bring it in your house and drop it on your sofa. Me, I don't put no kind of package on my sofa. It goes right on the floor. Because I'm not expecting something like that to be clean in the first place. You know what I mean? And another thing that they get over on Amazon workers is the grouping of packages. Here's how they really get over on you. They will allow you to, first of all, when you get your rabbit in the morning, your phone, it'll say the number of packages or amount of stops that you have. So it'll say something like maybe 190 stops. But here's how they get over on you. Because a lot of those stops actually have more stops in them. So what they do is they group a number of houses together. So let's say there's 2 houses on that side of the street, and then there's 2 houses on this side of the street. They'll group all of those houses. So that's a total of 4 houses. They'll group them all together and call it one stop. Tell me that's not grimy. That's dirty to do something like that. So you're telling me I'm going to all of these different houses and that's only considered one stop? That's how they get you. They'll group certain houses in because they're close together. They think you could just walk over and do that. No, that should still be considered a stop. I shouldn't have to be doing all of those just to equal one stop. This is what they do. Then on top of that, at the end of the night, like when you work this job, you don't expect to stay out till nighttime. But I'm gonna be honest, this was a nighttime job. This was a daytime through the nighttime job. I can't tell you the amount of times I came back to the warehouse tired as heck. I mean, bloodshot out. My legs were burning. Everything was just on fire. Came back to the warehouse. All I wanted to do was go home. This job will make you work through the night. Past 9 o'clock sometimes, 9 p.m. You're still out there delivering packages to homes you can't even see. I already told you the feeling I had in my other video, where we're trying to find numbers on certain houses. Your coworkers are telling you bring a flashlight so you can flash it. I'm not doing any of that. I'm not doing any of that. There will be no flashlights on strangers' houses. I'm sorry. No flashlights on anyone's home. And this is what they told you to do. So while you're sitting there just thinking in the beginning of this job that I'm just going to get through these packages so I can go home in the daytime, that was another thing they didn't tell you. If you manage to do that, if you manage to get through all your packages, surprise, you got to go help someone else. You can't go home. Oh, you thought you was free? Nah, you're not free. That's when they tell you got to go do a rescue. That's what they call it. You got to help someone else out that didn't finish their shift. You got to help someone out that still has a lot of packages. So now when you go to do a rescue, you may have 40, 50 packages to take off their hands, depending on how many packages they have total. That'll keep you busy. Oh, you just thought you can go home? No, you can't go home. Good job, though, getting your stuff done. What they wouldn't tell you is if you rush through your packages, they only give you more. And this is even without the rescue. If you get through your packages really fast, like say you work Saturday and Sunday, if you get through all your packages really fast and they see that you're doing too good, you know what they do? They penalize you. They give you more packages. So now in your next route, all of a sudden you see some crazy number of stops. I'm like, ain't this something? This is crazy. How you get penalized for doing a good job? Only here, right? Only in America, you say to yourself. You get penalized for doing a good job. This is crazy. I just completed all my packages and you guys are giving me a whole bunch more work. That's what one thing they would not tell you. Because in your mind, you're thinking, I'm going to get all of these done before nighttime. So I can get home, watch the game, relax, sleep, take a nap. No, you're not going home. You have more work to do. That's what they put into your head when you start realizing it. And before you know it, it's nighttime. And now you're out there just looking for all these houses. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, share, subscribe. Peace out.